That's my goal. Um, but yeah, moving on. Now we just talk about the rookies. The complete rookies that have only been here. This is their first year. That is Juju Noda, Bianca Bustamante, Teresa Babakova, Chloe Chambers, and Emily DeHues. Almost forgot about DeHues. And so this scale goes off of how are they based off of their first race. So again, we go back to Miami's first race. And how were these 4 to 5 drivers? Bianca Bustamante and Emily DeHues ended up scoring a combined 3 points. Bianca Bustamante ninth with 2, and Emily DeHues with 1. They were the front runners after race 1 with that. Chloe Chambers makes a mistake, but it's how did she bounce back from it? Yes, of course, 13th that or 14th, that was the final, results after all the penalties had been assessed post race. Teresa Babakova and Juju Noda 12th place, looking for that first point. What could she get that first point in race number 2? And we go back into that race number 2. And Chloe Chambers tops everybody with a point. Fabian Volvend was, okay. So Emily DeHues was 12th, with Bianca Bustamante 14th, and Juju Noda drops down to 15th. Teresa Babakova was 16th. So that's how race number 2 went. With all that being said, Chloe Chambers, I think, takes the cake for this one because she was able to improve, and this is once again after, actually just after 2 races. But for that start, Chloe Chambers takes it. Yes, Chloe Chambers ended up DNFing after in Spain. It's a completely different racetrack. But we fast forward to Spain, and no drivers for rookies were able to score any points. Again, this is discounting Abby pulling from this because of the fact she's raced in WSeries last year. She raced in WSeries for a couple of races last year, therefore I don't call her a rookie, since she's known the system and especially been around Alice Powell a lot. Therefore, again, we go back. Juju Noda, Emily DeHues, Bianca Bustamante, Teresa Babakova, and Chloe Chambers. Juju Noda this time topped all the rookies, not scoring points, but topped them by finishing positions, holding off all the rookies. Chloe Chambers, how much did she improve? She was able to improve, still learned a lot. I will give her, again, 1 out of 10. How much has she improved from those 3 races? With still so much, so much to learn still. Again, we haven't talked about the other 3 races yet. I would say, out of 10, and I think a lot of these won't even be close to 10. 5.7 for her first 3 races. from how much she's improved. Let's say her first race weekend in general from Miami showed how much potential she had. And then coming into Spain showed how much she still needs to learn. So you feel me? As in, she's still learning. She's still got so much room to grow. That's why, in my eyes, 5.7 gives her so much room for those next 3 races for us to come back and revisit that and say that 5.7 was true at the start, but now look at her go into maybe a 7. Like 7, 70. That's how I see it, personally. She's got so much room to grow. That's just one off of the rookies. 2. Teresa Babakova. Let's talk about her. She's up and down. Again, off of Miami's first race. Showed complete potential. Had a little bit more luck due to the fact that she due to the fact of how many, the red flag benefited a lot of drivers, and the other safety car benefited her too, with Bianca. Followed Bustamante through and made a lot of spots back. It's going to be a great job for her. That's just one race, though. The race number 2 for De Hughes, was a tough one. Not able to score any points, but 12th place. So like right there. And to be fair, behind Fabian Volvin, Martha Garcia, Chloe Chambers. The group is not too bad to be behind. Showed she still has a lot of potential. And then making it to Barcelona for De Hughes. Just outside the top 10. I think she's kind of been the best balanced racer so far. This one's kind of high for me, but I think this is a fair rating, 6.5 rating for how much, she still has so much more to grow. And we all know she, by the end of the season, should be fighting for top 5s. And we haven't even talked about her next 3 races, which, the next 3 races for all these drivers was Silverstone, France, and none other than Hungary. But again, I thought I'd spread all this stuff out. Helps me, helps us out and helps people talk about it again. So yeah, 6.5 to me for her rating. These are rookie ratings again. So yeah, we talked about Chloe Chambers. We talked about we talked about Emily De Hughes. Yeah, now time to talk about Teresa Babakova. I think this is a perfect segue into it, talking about Babakova. So yeah, she finished 15th. Okay, so actually, Emily De Hughes ended up finishing 14th. Still, yeah, so 6.3. 6.3. I would say for her. But yeah, moving on. Again, we talked about that as a Babakova. She ended up finishing 17th at Spain. But again, we have to also consider these are these drivers' first times at these tracks. But we go back to Miami. And with that doubleheader, Balbakova was able to finish 13th in the first race. Was she able to improve? No, she was not, finishing 16th in race number 2, which was a lot tougher because they didn't have the safety cars. The benefits of that were key. They were very much a big talking point, especially when it came back to this, race in the first time. So with that being said, I'd say Babakova, 5.9, 5.8. Has a long ways to go with Chloe Chambers, but both of them have so much potential. I'm very excited to see what their next, results bring past the 3 races that already happened to, what was it? To, Singapore, Coda, and Mexico with that doubleheader. So technically, there's like 4 more races to go, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Which makes sense because we're only at the stop of 6 races with that summer break. Then on to our last 2 rookies. We will save the best. Well, yeah, I'll say it. The best for last. But Bianca Bustamante first, we got to cover. Bianca Bustamante still an interesting driver. Again, background is karting. Gets the chance for WSeries. Gets the Academy drive. And here she is. Out of karting, jumps straight into a Tatis F3 car, basically. And has to work harder than any other driver on the grid, just about. Bianca Bustamante, 14th in the second race, and in the first race she had, again, a top 10 with 9th place. Helped her out. What helped her out? What were the 2 penalties that happened? But it does not matter. That's a 9th place where she earned it. Put herself in that situation and gets it. It was probably going to potentially be 11th, so still would have been the highest scoring rookie. So 9th position for Bustamante. Actually, I take that back. Would not have been the highest scoring rookie for that race, but yeah, 9th and a 14th drops off again in that second race. That's kind of the theme that I'm noticing from these drivers, especially from these rookies, is that second race, they're finding out they're a little inconsistent. And that's something that, grows with time, where you start to get more and more consistent. Being able to learn, being able to mature, being able to replicate that same thing time and time and time again just takes repetition, just takes time. So very excited to see how these drivers go. Bianca Bustamante, though, in that third race in Spain, a little painful for her, 15th. Finds herself behind Emily DeHues and Juju Noda. Still a long ways to go coming off of that cart. 5.6. So around the same where Chloe Chambers is in my eyes. Juju Noda, the youngest on the grid, if I'm not mistaken, or second youngest. With a lot of experience, though, in open wheel racing. Juju Noda, yep, we found her finishing 13th in Spain, and then before that, the first two races, just misses out on points. In both of them with 12th place in the first race, and in the second race ends up finishing in 15th. So 15th position for her in that second race, and the first race ends up being a little bit closer to the points. And moving past that, getting herself back on the horse and back into 13th. So still hadn't scored any points from then on. So a good position. Feeling like a little bit more consistent. Yes, she dropped off. 6.1. Still plenty of room for her to improve. 6.1 even at that point. That's the driver ratings in my eyes. But yeah, let me know if you all agree, if you're watching live. Let me hear your thoughts. If you're not watching live and watching on YouTube, comment down below how you thought those three races for the rookies have gone, and even the three races for everybody else have gone. Love to hear the insight. Maybe you'll be featured on the next episode after this, which will be the second half part of this, which will be the next three races where I break down everything and just all that fun stuff. If you all enjoyed this clip, feel free to watch the full video, the full hour-long podcast that I did. It breaks down all the different drivers, not only just the rookies, but everybody as well, as we broke down the first 3 races of the season for everybody as the summer break has approached. More content to come out. Part 2 coming out next week, so hopefully you all enjoy and stay tuned for that. If you did, feel free, hit that like button as well, and I will see you all in the next one as well. So stay tuned for more content. Thank you all for watching. Peace.